Now, a landmark prisoner swap deal between the United States and Venezuela. The United States has now released an ally of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro in exchange for 10 American detainees and a fugitive dubbed as Fat Leonard. The deal was in fact brokered by Qatar. Venezuela has handed over a fugitive named Leonard Francis, the man at the center of U.S. Navy's biggest ever corruption scandal. Leonard Francis, who was also known as Fat Leonard, is a Malaysian defense contractor. He was behind the biggest bribery scandal involving dozens of American naval officers. Francis owned and operated his family's ship servicing business, Singapore-based Glen Defence Marine Asia Limited. The GDMA supplied food, water and fuel to U.S. naval vessels. Leonard was a key contact for U.S. Navy ships at ports across Asia for more than 2 decades. And during this time, he also wooed naval officers with some $500,000 gifts, which included cash, prostitutes and luxury travel from Thailand to the Philippines. In exchange, the officers concealed a scheme in which Francis would overcharge for supplying ships or charge for fake services at ports that he controlled in Southeast Asia. Now, the officers in fact passed him classified information and even went so far as to redirecting military vessels to ports that were lucrative for his Singapore-based shipping servicing company. The U.S. President Joe Biden has made the decision to free Alex Saab, the one-time confidant of the socialist leader Nicolas Maduro, who the United States has accused of laundering money for Caracas. Alex Saab, a close ally of Maduro, was taken into custody in 2020 when his private jet has touched down in Cape Verde to refuel. Now, the entrepreneur has in fact been at the center of accusations involving kickbacks, massive corruption and hoarding black money using a government corruption scheme. And according to the U.S. Justice Department, Saab and his associate had transferred more than $350 million to different foreign accounts. The Saab also built some pretty prosperous businesses in Colombia's textile industry. In his early career, he had collaborated with Alvaro Pulido, a drug trafficking Colombian billionaire who had invited him to Venezuela for business endeavors. And our correspondent Susan Tehrani has sent us this report. Listen in.
According to reports, U.S. officials said that Qatari officials helped and played a role in facilitating the prisoner swap between the United States and Venezuela, which took months to complete. Venezuela's Maduro regime presents a vexing geopolitical challenge in America's backyard. First of all, because it is the source of the largest migrant crisis in the Western Hemisphere, but also because of its close relations with Iran and Russia. During the Trump administration, the U.S. indicted Maduro and other high-ranking Venezuelan officials on charges of crimes related to narco-terrorism, money laundering, as well as drug trafficking. In October, Venezuela agreed to open its 2024 presidential elections to opposition candidates, a step the U.S. welcomed. The first step in that deal was to be completed by November 30th. To encourage further progress, the United States lifted some sanctions against Venezuela, however, warned that if November 30th comes and goes and Venezuela doesn't stand up to its side of the deal, then those sanctions would be reimposed on the country. Well, that did happen. The deadline came and went. Venezuela did not adhere to its promises, but the United States so far has not reimposed those sanctions. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.